Hello ladies and gents, Razor here, and I thought today I'd talk a bit about Planets Under Attack. It's made by a studio called Targim Games. Now, Planets Under Attack comes under a weird genre. It is a strategy game, a space strategy game, but it's also a swarm game. How swarm games work is that you generally have nodes on the map. Nodes generate points, and then using these points you can build ships or soldiers and send them to another node to capture it. You can see these counters on a node, planets in this case, and every ship sent against it gets destroyed, taking out 1 point on that node. Once all the node's points are depleted and another ship comes along, that planet is now yours. The game I've just described to you is Galcon. It's the only game in this particular genre that I actually remember and have played. I'm sure there are more out there. The reason I'm telling you about Galcon is because Galcon is the most simplest, basic version of this genre. When you send the order to attack a planet in Galcon, the ships on all your planets are mobilized. However, you can set the amount that you want to deploy, say 50 or 25% of your current total. This game, however, Planets Under Attack, seems to be a more fleshed out, fully realized version of Galcon. It adds numerous features and additions that make it different from Galcon, a step up in many ways. The first thing you'll notice is that the game is in 3D. You can rotate the map freely. Another thing you'll notice is that I've been making upgrades throughout the start of the game. I haven't been expanding as much. This game, again, contrary to Galcon, has numerous races. You have humans, aliens and robots, each with its own downsides and perks. I played humans through the majority of my playthrough, and humans rely on money. When you send ships to attack, your planets stop producing money. As you can imagine, this is a massive consideration you have to take into account before you set forth on a massive large-scale attack that could take several minutes. Another unique feature in this game and on this particular map and several others is that you can see this orbital ring around the outskirts of the map, and the planets on that ring rotate around, and this creates some really interesting tactical opportunities. In one of the other games I swarmed a planet to capacity and waited until it got around and then launched my attack so it wouldn't take as long. Because if your ships are in flight, you stop producing money, as I've said before. There are also asteroids, as you can see, and you can't cross them, you have to go around them. It's not only the maps that have been given more depth. The nodes, or planets in this case, can be set on defensive mode, so they don't actually launch ships. They can be upgraded, so they'll have bigger populations, so you can produce ships faster. They can even be segregated to different infrastructures, say turrets or money producing planets. These planets, of course, because you've changed the infrastructure, they can't produce ships anymore, and you have to send ships to that planet, set it on defense to make sure it doesn't get taken over and controlled by another faction. Another way they've changed playstyles is with the addition of modes. You have King of the Hill, Domination, Elimination, which is what I'm playing right now, and all these different modes play completely differently. You have to change your tactics and how you go about conquering planets. You even get to pick a number of perks before you actually get into a game, and these perks are minor changes that can win your game in the long run if they're the perks suited to your playstyle. Swarm games are mainly based around multiplayer. It's the whole multiplayer aspect and the tactics different people employ that make the game interesting. However, Planets Under Attack does have a campaign, and a fairly sizable one at that. This does come along with the story, but I have to say the story is not the most interesting thing in the world, but then again it has no need to be. The campaign is there simply to provide you with an entrance into the genre and the game itself. Like any strategy game, it starts off slow and slowly teaches you the basic and then more advanced tactics, and shows you all the modes and races, how they play and how you have different objectives to achieve each time. Speaking of achievements, this game has loads of them. It has an in-game ranking system telling you what you've done and how well you've done and how many ships you've conquered and such. I would not take this gameplay for granted or at face value, because personally I'm very bad at these type of games. I just tend to swarm one planet and hope for the best, really. The game is incredibly deep, more so than it seems, especially when considering multiple tactics. Not only this, the game is incredibly well polished and seems like a step up, the next stage of evolution of swarm games. However, this game is a bit on the pricey side. It is $15 or 13 quid depending on where you live, and that may be a deal breaker for some people. However, if you're a fan of swarm games, this is definitely worth checking out. I've tried to show you what the game's all about and how it works and everything, and I hope I've portrayed that in this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, I'd appreciate if you liked, subscribed, commented and all that stuff. It does really help me out, and I greatly appreciate it. Every like counts. Anyway guys, see you around next time.